Hello everyone, I am USHAKOVA. Welcome to my channel. It is January the 9th, 2021. Happy New Year to all of my subscribers, to anyone who visits my channel. Thank you to my newest subscribers. I'm very appreciative that you decided to that you liked what you heard, that you liked what you saw, that you felt at home here and subscribed. So thank you, thank you, thank you. So here we are, 2021. And probably for many of us, it doesn't feel much different than 2020. It's almost like we've rolled over from 2020 to 2021, thinking that, well, because it's a new year, it ought to feel different from 2020. Because it's a new year and we've entered the dawning of the age of Aquarius, 21st of December of 2020, we should have metamorphosed into, a new realm, a different way of consciousness, a different way of attitudes, a happier, better future, so to speak, or present for sure. Please know that just because we as human beings have constructed a calendar that says today 2020 ends and tomorrow 2021 begins, the world shifts according to our calendar structures. It doesn't work that way. The world in the universe, it's not divided according to man-made rules. The planets move as they move. The stars come out when they come out. I mean, we can't control the ebb and tide of sort of universal flow, if you know what I mean. So 2021, the beginning of it, is really it's a continuation of 2020. Many of us, many countries in the world are still on lockdown because of the pandemic. Here in America, and particularly in California, where I am, the sort of shelter-in-place ruling, lockdown, is continuing for yet another month even. So in California, it's very, very difficult right now with the pandemic. It's sort of raging. In Southern California, particularly, sort of out of control. I'm here today and tonight really filming because I wanted to come on and wish all of us a Happy New Year, even though it doesn't perhaps feel much different than how we've been living in 2020, so much has already changed. So much has already changed. And what has changed, for sure, is our adaptation to this way of life, of sheltering in place, of how do we live through a lockdown, like it or not, to stay healthy, to stay safe. Something we didn't know in March of 2020. We were beginning to just learn about, what pandemic even means and etc. So we're much further ahead. So there has been progression from 2020 to 2021. We do know how to take care of ourselves right now, even without vaccinations at this moment in time for many of us. So 2021, and here in the United States, as the world knows by now, we have just ended the most difficult first week of the month, politically, and in our capital in Washington, D.C. I won't really go into what we all witnessed, what we all saw on our television screens. We're still feeling the effects of this. It's all very raw. What I want to say is that 2021, the beginning of it, the first few months of it, particularly the first month of it, this has all been sort of coming to a head. We are in the midst of this we have an inauguration on the 20th of January. There are still rough moments to come, I believe. We will get through this. I want to assure all of us, we will get through this. We will get through this together. We will get through this with good intentions, with those of us who really send out very good vibrations and keep our positive thoughts in mind. Don't allow ourselves to be dragged down by what appears to be hopelessness, perhaps, or, my God, things won't change. They will. They've already changed. In my last video that I recorded at the end of 2020, I talked about coming back in the first week of January to begin speaking about the hero's journey, which is really about transformation. Transformation of our lives, how we transform, what is that process, and what is the journey that we all go on to transform, and what's it all about, and what does it mean? And I talked briefly about how the beginning of the hero's journey, which is really a story that has been told over and over again at every age of human civilization on Earth. It's really storytelling. It's really the journey of going from perhaps an environment that we know something about or a lot about, the ordinary world, I call it, our ordinary world, whatever that world is, that is our circumference, that we feel comfortable in or even uncomfortable in, but we know this world. And then comes a big shock. Let's call it a tsunami or a pandemic or an insurrection, a riot, an attempted coup in the capital of the United States of America. We can pick and choose whatever the big tower moment might be that would throw us right out of the ordinary world that we exist in, the things that we know about, into the unknown. And thus begins the hero's journey, from those moments of going from the ordinary world to having a shock presented to us where everything is somehow shifted all of a sudden, be it a shift of perception or a shift of nature that has us perceive where we are in a different way, matters not. What matters is what we do with this tower moment and what the journey from that moment on is for us in the story, in our individual story, in the story of the collective. It's a grand story. It's a story about how the hero, you, in the story, embraces the concept of something larger existing than just ourselves. That the real heroism, that the bigger story is when we embrace something much bigger than ourselves, than oneself. Going from the ordinary world, our world, the constructed world that we have constructed, where we feel safe or uncomfortable, but we're comfortable in even this discomfort because we know what's surrounding us, to when we step into what we don't know anything about. That begins the journey of adventure, and that adventure leads us on a path of transformation. And it's a miraculous journey, really. And I'm going to talk about this journey in my next video. I just wanted to come on today and not want so much time to elapse into the new year without coming to you to say thank you for being a subscriber, and thank you for just stopping by to look at my channel to find out a little bit about me. I am someone who is steeped in the learning of transformation and consciousness. They go together. Consciousness being an awareness of where we are, who we are, or a state of becoming. Consciousness brings us to a state of becoming someone else, to become that larger person than when we entered the storyline and that tsunami came in our direction, that pandemic came, threw us off course, but is now teaching us a new way forward and who we can become in this new way forward. A lot of what I'm going to talk about is based on the mythologist, the late mythologist Joseph Campbell's writings and beliefs, and especially this book that was written years and years and years ago, The Hero of a Thousand Faces, with a Thousand Faces. And it's really all about the hero's journey. And so that it's very rich. And I think it's really important as we begin the new year, from my perspective, for me as a transformational global life coach, as someone who has doctoral level studies in the 90s, in the mid to late 90s, about self and other, about how we go about becoming change agents of our own lives, and by becoming those change agents through a transformed consciousness, we, just by our very actions in the world, affect those around us in our circle, and then the ripple effect of that surround. So we really change the world by changing ourselves first, and then by our actions, by our words, by our thoughts, become influencers for others to have a look at themselves and pick up on their journeys. So there's a lot here, a lot of richness, but I want to just say how much I care about all of you, and how I thank you for helping me grow my channel. And you grow my channel, it's so simple. You grow my channel by being a subscriber and by clicking the little notification bell, the icon of the little bell. Click on that, and it will always notify you when I've posted my latest video. You'll know instantaneously, and then you'll be able to listen to it and watch it anytime you wish from there forward. But at least you know I've started something for you. And especially on this hero's journey, I don't want you to miss what I'm going to be talking about and the journey that I'm going to lead us on. So tell your friends about this channel. USHAKOVA, Elegant Influencer. Lots of information about me in the description box below, and you'll get a sense of who I am. I'm on various social media platforms, and I'm here to lead my best life and to give you the tools and to teach how you might do that with your lives, how we can all elevate our consciousness to rise above what feels sometimes hopeless or so difficult. There's a way forward, and I will take us through that way. I'll be back soon, perhaps a week or so. So best to subscribe and click the notification bell, and you'll always be in touch with what I'm doing, the moment I do it. So thank you. I send my love to each and every one of you. Blessings from my heart to yours. Big kiss. Thank you very much. Happy 2021. It is going to get better. I promise you that.